Arsenal fans won't want to believe it, but the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal right now is mentality. And we will continue to throw this at Mikel Arteta until he can prove otherwise. And it's a fair assumption. Today, that game was absolutely dreadful from both teams. I thought going forward, there was nowhere near enough quality. But I still think Liverpool were there for the taking. And Arsenal, and specifically Arteta, did not want to take it. There's a lot to break down in this game. We're going to go through a few different things. But overall, what a win for Liverpool. What a win. Quality, quality, quality. If you're new to the channel, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to do, I want to bring up this comment from Rory. And listen, I like Rory. I get along with him. We have a lot of good chats about football over on Footy Judge Mode, the Rational League. If some of you watched it, you'll know what I mean. But he's missing the point when it comes to Arsenal right now. So he says, it's funny, Liverpool were no more adventurous or attacking than Arsenal. Kerkez never left isolated. Neither fullback overlapped for them. They win the game on a set piece. But if Arsenal had scored a corner late on 0-0, the narrative would be crazy. And he does have a point. The narrative would be completely different. And there's a reason for that. Liverpool do not depend on scoring from set pieces. They never have. They never will. They always depend on breaking down teams, having quality players within their team to be able to go on and win games. Arsenal right now, they depend on set pieces to score. And today was no different. They wanted to go to Anfield and they wanted to settle for a draw and then later on, if they could, nick a goal, nick a set piece, nick a corner, or get a penalty, whatever it was, then that's what they were happy with. They were happy to go and take a 0-0, take a draw and go back to London with it. The difference is with this Liverpool team is they're never happy with taking a draw. You've seen it against Newcastle. Newcastle had all the momentum last week. They could have easily won that game at the end. But Liverpool, they bring on Rio, they bring on Elliott, they go for it. Even though all the momentum is going with Newcastle, they get the rewards for it. Arsenal, this week, Liverpool conceded 2 goals against Bournemouth, 2 goals against a 10-man Newcastle. And right now, they are so easy to play against in terms of breaking them down and getting at them defensively. But you have to have the character and the ability and the want to go out and do that. And Arsenal did not have that today. And that is why you're going to consistently come into these question marks about why don't they want to go out and compete for Premier League? Why don't they want to go and try and actually get it over the line when it comes to Champions League? It's because of mentality. You need, when you see opportunities like that to go and win games, you have to be able to do it. And Arsenal today did not want to do that. So that's the first part. But going on to some of the performances today, because we do need to talk about some players that got a lot of criticism from Liverpool in the first 2 games of the season. And that is Milos Kerkez and Konaté. They were unbelievable today. I think we know about his quality. And the first 2 games of the season, whether it's maybe just not getting up to speed quickly enough, or I think the Liverpool team as a whole maybe haven't been at it and they're trying to play a slightly different formation to what we've seen previously. And there's been a few question marks over Konaté. He definitely hasn't been on his best, but today he was excellent. He loved the physicality with Kerkez. He got stuck in. He stepped forward with the ball, made the right decisions at the right time. Luckily, the news came out after at the end of the game that his injury wasn't bad and it was just cramp, so he came off. And Gomez, who came in for him, absolutely excellent as well. So really, really impressed with Konaté. But I want to take it to Milos Kerkez because, lads, we need to relax with this Milos Kerkez situation. He's only in the game. He's only at Liverpool. What? 3 games. And some people saying that Robertson should have been starting today ahead of him. There is no way we should be dropping a player of his quality in a big game like today, shoot his confidence down the drain, and then just expect him to be able to bounce back. He was excellent today against a very tricky customer in Madueke. And he had those 1v1 duels. He was able to come out on top, and you can see from his stats here. So won the most duels in the match, 7. Made the most tackles, 2 in the match, 100% ground duels, 1, 5 clearances, 3 recoveries. And he also played a big part against Dowman when he came on at the end of the game. Made some really good challenges and obviously relieved some of the pressure for us. Kerkez is a good footballer. He just got named in the Premier League Team of the Season. And you need to give players like this time. They're not going to come into a new team, a team that is used to winning every single week, and go from a team that was playing at Bournemouth where you could make the odd mistake and coming into this Liverpool team where you're put under so much pressure in every single situation. He's going to take a little bit of time to deal with that and understand what his role in this team, because it's not the same as it was at Bournemouth. And that's something Slot is obviously having to figure out with him, because he's being asked to play more of as a third centre-back than he is an attacking fullback. And today he was excellent. Madueke, as I said, he wanted to get the ball. He wanted to get in behind. Arsenal, I think, might have targeted Kerkez based on the games that they might have seen him as a weak point, but he was able to stand up to them. And I thought he was absolutely excellent today. Be as fair with your praise for a player as you are as with the criticism. And I think he deserves a lot of praise for how Liverpool played and how they were able to keep a clean sheet. Next point, going forward, Liverpool were shocking. They were shocking. First half, Arsenal, to be fair, they wanted to sit in. They wanted to make it difficult. They're the best defensive team in Europe. That's what Kerkez said, and I do agree with him. And they made it difficult for us. Other than the Van Dijk chance, which he was able to step forward and capitalise on Roy's mistake, they didn't really look like they were going to create much. They were a little bit better in the second half. You could say they probably had a little bit more momentum with them, but overall, they still didn't really create that much. And other than the offside goal, which was rightly ruled for offside, the royal little mistake, they were poor. And it was going to take a little bit of luck or a little bit of brilliance to break down this Arsenal team. And that's what Liverpool had. And you might say, right, a little bit of luck, a little bit of brilliance. It's easy to kind of throw that along and say that as a line. But sometimes you make your own luck. You make your own brilliance. And I think this Liverpool team, because of what we've seen so far, because we know obviously of what they've done last season, that's something that they do. And I don't think that's I think that's the difference between this Arsenal team and this Liverpool team. They don't have the same characteristics of champions. Liverpool have it. And it's just it. It's like, what is it? It's just this thing that you know a team has. And when I look at this Liverpool team, they have it. Arsenal don't. And Szoboszlai. He's, even for me, right? When he came into this Liverpool team last season, and he came in, he had a really good start to the season. Then he kind of starts to evolve into this workhorse player. You're kind of thinking someone that just does the dirty work. But he does have that quality, and we've seen that at Leipzig before he came. Wirtz has obviously come into this Liverpool team. He hasn't set the world alight. We can all admit that. He has not been good enough for the price tag, but you don't pay 100-odd million for a player for 3 games. You play it for the next 10 years. He's 22, could say be at Liverpool for the next 10 years. Szoboszlai has fitted in at that right back position. Bradley hasn't come back from his injury yet. Frimpong is obviously still out. And he's been our best player against Newcastle and against Arsenal today. So good. Stepping into midfield. Obviously, that's his natural position. He just has to obviously just make sure that he doesn't make it easy for for forwards to go by him. And he did that against Barnes last week, and he did that against Martinelli today. Will he come up against a trickier winger? Would it be more difficult? Absolutely. But what he adds to this Liverpool team when he's able to step into that midfield role, because he understands what it takes to play there, is something that I think is probably a little bit misunderstood in the fact that Slot has realised that he could play him as a right back and get so much out of him. So I think he deserves a lot of credit, Slot, as well. But Szoboszlai, so good. So many good touches, his awareness, and then the goal. Look at how far out he is. He's about, what did I say, 32.2 yards. He had a 2% chance of scoring that free kick. And the swerve that he gets on it, you can actually see Raya take 2 steps in anticipation to try and block the ball or try and save the ball. And even then, it's not enough because it's so far in the corner. It's hit with such pace, such direction. And he deserved it today. He absolutely deserved it. He obviously had to step over last week for Rio's goal. And today, just to add on the momentum that he's obviously carrying into the season. He's been so good. But overall, all I can say is, as I said just there, this Liverpool team has it. This Liverpool team has it. And until Arsenal change their mentality, change their approach, because people might say, okay, they're going into a very difficult ground in, say, Anfield today. It might be Etihad in a few weeks, whatever it is. When you go to those grounds, you do need to show that you're able to win those games. I'm not saying it has to lead to a title-winning campaign, but Arsenal, since they've been on this rise, as the Sky Sports shown it earlier on, they've never won at Anfield or at the Etihad in any circumstance. And they had to get over that mind block before they're able to do it. Before they're able to obviously show that they're Premier League champions. And I just think the messaging that that Arteta obviously sends them, it carries over. It's not a mentality for a one-off game. I want you to really understand, it's not a mentality for a one-off game. It's a mentality for everything. It's a mentality for how they approach every game. They might go out and beat Leeds 5-0, but when they're really struggling against a team and they're trying to break them down, and then they're like, okay, what way do we do it? Like, we don't want to be caught in the break, or you're going into these big games and you don't want to lose. It's not about that. It's about winning. It's about risk. It's about putting your foot on another team's neck because you want to be able to go on and win it. And Arsenal right now, they do not have it with Arteta. And I think he needs to be brave. If he's brave enough and he's brave and he tells the players to go out and win the game, then they will go and do it because they have the players for it. They have the quality. But that's not the messaging that he gives them. It's not lose, try and get a corner, try and get a set piece, try and get a goal at the end if we bring on a few players. And that's not the way you should go out and try and win games. You should go out always from the first minute if you're a good team, if you're a champion team, to go out and try and win the game. Liverpool had it today, lads. And I think they have it this year. I think they will be Premier League champions. Let me know what you think in the comments. Were you impressed with Liverpool? What do you make of Arsenal's performance? If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I shall see you all on the next one. Cheers, guys.